Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Jenn Pike, a functional medicine diagnostic nutritionist and specializing in women's health and hormones. And definitely one of the big areas of issue for women is their energy, fatigue, feeling exhaustion, tired all the time. And so today I'm going to take you through 10 of what I would see as being the most common reasons as to why we can feel that exhaustion, and then strategies for each one of them to help you beat that exhaustion and to feel better overall. Before we get into today's topic and episode, make sure you hit subscribe below so that you don't miss anything new that is coming up. Let's go through some of the more basic things that we can tend to overlook that could actually have huge impact on our energy and how we're feeling. Number one, sedentary. I'm sitting right now. Do you do a lot of this? Do you have a sedentary lifestyle? Meaning you get up out of bed in the morning, you do the regular stuff of getting ready and that, you sit in a car to drive to work, you go to work and sit at a desk all day, you come home and you get out of that car you've been sitting in and sit on the couch all night until you go into bed, or you work from home and you're still sitting all day. Do you have an active enough lifestyle? Are you getting movement in? Are you walking? Are you stretching? Are you exercising? Are you doing things that are keeping you in motion? It's interesting. We think that exercise could be something that could actually make us feel more tired, right? Because we always think with exercise, it's got to be, go hard or go home and it's going to exhaust you. But it's actually the opposite. When you do movement every day and you get a good dose, a good amount of exercise in, it's actually going to give you energy. It's going to help release endorphins. It'll support your mood. It'll support your cognition, and it is going to help to support your energy and make you feel less exhausted throughout the rest of the day. So start to get yourself moving. How can you do that? Look around your environment. This is actually a desk that I'm at that also stands as well as sits. That's something that you could do. Could you start to count your steps? If you've been getting in like 3,000 or 4,000 a day, could you get 5,000 to 7,000 in? Maybe, 8,000 to 10,000. I think that's probably like a really awesome goal to move towards. Start small and move from there and break it up. Maybe you can only do 10 minutes in the morning, and then you do 10 minutes after lunch, and then after dinner in the evening, you get outside for another 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be consistent. So that's number one. Number two, do you have maybe a diet or nutritional kind of plan approach that is lacking in nutrients, lacking in life, lacking in actual real good quality food? I see this happen all the time where maybe you're just not eating enough, or what you are eating is packaged and processed, and it's, fast food and takeout food, and it's really lacking a lot of the vitamins and the minerals and the energy that our body requires on a cell level to feel good. So when is the last time that you did a little scrub of your nutrition and you took a look at what am I eating for breakfast? What am I having for lunch? What am I having in the afternoon, maybe for that snack between lunch and dinner? And then what am I having for dinner? Am I getting color in? Am I getting protein in? Am I getting enough healthy fiber in? Am I getting antioxidants in? Am I getting great quality sources of fat and carbohydrates? Really take the time to dedicate yourself to that, because of all the common denominators, when we look at our health in terms of our health being good or our health being suboptimal, nutrition is a massive one. It's never not connected. So that would be step and strategy number two, is have a really honest conversation with yourself about what's going on with your food, and start to make a really strong commitment to making choices for yourself that are going to give you energy, not just right now, but for the rest of your day, into your days, into the weeks and the months that are coming. Here's another little bonus tip I'll give you on that, is that when you're eating well throughout the day and when your blood sugar is stable, your sleep is going to improve, your mood is going to improve, your libido is going to improve. Those workouts, that movement you're doing is going to be supported by the way in which you eat. Number three can seem so simple, but here it is: hydration. Are you getting enough water in? I can't tell you how many clients I work with who actually might be doing really good on the food side of things and moving, but they'll say I'm getting less than a liter, 32 ounces of good quality water in every single day. You would be blown away at your energy and at your brain function, the decrease in brain fog and your mental clarity if you were to simply get enough water in. I don't know you exactly. I don't know your lifestyle. I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know some of your other needs, but what I can tell you in general is anywhere from 2 to 3 liters of water a day, good quality filtered water, would be fantastic. Now, I love to add electrolytes into my water. It flavors the water naturally. It also helps for me to get in things that are supporting my adrenals and my blood sugar and my blood pressure, sodium, potassium, magnesium. And so I use something called Element. It is LMNT, and I love it. You could also use something like a Redmond's Real Salt to get some minerals into the water. You could do some fresh citrus. You can even add a scoop of something like a BioSteel in there for yourself, or some amino acids. Bottom line, make sure you are hydrated, okay? And bonus tip on that for your health is eliminate the plastics. So, I mean, this is just a straight up inexpensive glass mason jar. We have tons of them in the house. There's lids that you can get where a straw can pop in there, good quality reusable straw, or you can just put the regular cap that's on it. You could get a stainless steel water bottle. There's other glass ones that have neoprene on it so that if you drop it, it is less likely to break or shatter. There's so many different options now. Number 4, I started to touch on it when we were talking about nutrition, and it's your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is not stable, if you are needing to eat every couple of hours, if you are constantly looking for your next fix, I need more coffee, I need more sugar, I need a simple carbohydrate, I need another, glass of alcohol. Whatever that thing is that is the pick me up, the thing that is helping you to find more energy temporarily is probably causing a lot of instability behind the scenes long term. You should be able to go between your meals 3 to 4 up to 5 hours without feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to eat something now or else. You shouldn't be in a position where if it's been a couple hours after eating, not only do you have the cravings, but you're getting a headache. You're feeling moody. You're getting super cranky. Everyone refers to it as being hangry. It's the hungry, angry side of you that is coming through. You might even feel nauseous. You might even feel dizzy. These are early warning signs that your blood sugar isn't stable. And I can promise you, if you can practice BSB, which is blood sugar balancing, you are going to feel so much better. So how do you do that? Some of the things I've already talked about. Doing that really good quality scrub of looking at your nutrition. Protein, fat, and fiber, good quality carbohydrates at each of your meals. Breakfast, lunch. I love to put something in the afternoon, right? So say you're having lunch around 12:30. You're not eating dinner until around 6:30. That's a long period of time for most people to go. And we have these natural dips in our energy in terms of when the liver is resetting, pancreatic function and enzymes, our insulin, our blood glucose. So I really love to bring something in typically between 3 and 4 p.m. for people to have with another good quality bolus of protein. I aim to get clients consuming somewhere between 30 to 40-ish grams of protein for each meal throughout the day. Now, if you've never been tracking that, you might be like, oh my gosh, that seems insane. A lot of people I start to work with are getting in usually somewhere between 50 to 70 grams in a day. In an ideal scenario, we'd be moving the needle somewhere more towards 100 grams plus, or if you're somebody that's working out, about a gram per pound that you desire to weigh in terms of, your body weight, but also we would go a bit deeper and talk composition. Stay tuned because episodes will be coming up on that. All in all, blood sugar stability, super important. The next one is about your sleep. If you're having really poor quality sleep, okay, that is going to show up in your energy, obviously. What if you are in bed for 9 hours a night, but you're tossing and turning and you're restless and you're up and you're peeing and you're back in bed and you're just rolling all around? Not fantastic. So you can have people in your life who maybe get 5 hours of sleep, but they're getting half that in deep sleep. That's my husband. The man doesn't sleep for a long time, but he averages 3 hours of deep sleep a night, an hour and a bit of REM sleep. So while I might stay in bed for twice the amount of time as him, if I'm not getting really good quality deep sleep, I'm not getting restorative sleep, and he is. So the quality of your sleep is as important, if not sometimes more important than the total quantity. Make your sleep a priority. Get your butt to bed. I don't care what else has to get done at night, unless it means that the house is going to burn down or someone is literally going to starve if you don't do the thing. You need to go to bed. Get yourself to bed. Make sure you have all the light out of your room. Sleep with an eye mask on. If you're a mouth breather, tape your mouth to help that as well, to cool the temperature in your room. Sleep in as little clothing as possible, and try to anchor into the habit of going to bed roughly around the same time every night and waking roughly. And when I use the word roughly around the same times, it'd be somewhere within like a 30 to 60 minute window of when your normal bedtime and wake time would be. The other bonus tip I'm going to give you here on this is that not only is it important to take the light away in the evening for proper melatonin production in your body, but when you wake in the morning, trying to get natural daylight. It doesn't have to be sun. It can be an overcast day. It doesn't even have to be like the sun has risen yet, but getting exposure to natural light in your eyes is going to help with your cortisol awakening response, which is going to help to give you energy and mojo and motivation to get yourself going throughout the day. Now, the next one is stress. When it comes to stress, the first thing we want to do is acknowledge it, not try and be the stress warrior, the stress goddess that's like, I've got it, like I'm good, No, listen, There are things that are very stressful that can happen in life. There are things that we can't always control. You don't want to move into the stress and live there and park it there and like every day feel like Eeyore being inside of it, but give yourself the grace to actually acknowledge this is a lot of stress and weight and pressure right now. And I'm kind of feeling at my maximum tension. I'm feeling my capacity. And then what can you do to soften the edges of that? If you're eating better, it helps you manage the stress. If your blood sugar is balanced, it helps you manage the stress. If you're hydrated, if you're better rested, if you are moving, if you're not being in that sedentary situation, it is going to help you better manage your stress. Now, let's talk about some of what could be the bigger reasons as to why you may be exhausted that are not just the lifestyle pieces that we talked about. What if you have a lot of digestive issues that are going on? Okay. What if you don't have a life that is as simple and easy as Charlie, my pup, who just moves from one comfy position to the next? What if you have a lot of inflammation that's happening digestively and you've got irritable bowel disease, or you have leaky gut, you have a lot of food sensitivities, there's just a lot of things going on, you don't have great bowel function? This is something that definitely needs to be addressed. So working with your functional health practitioner, potentially running some functional tests to see what's going on is going to make a big difference. What if you have low-grade chronic inflammation? If there's inflammation happening in your body behind the scenes, this is exhausting. It's like your body has a secondary job that it is having to show up to do every single day around the clock. And that is a slow leak of your energy. So if you know that you feel like you've got inflammation happening somewhere, you've got aches and pains and joint issues going on and skin issues, and you're just like, I do not feel how I normally would feel, you want to push forward and investigate that. If you have an autoimmune condition, 100% you want to make sure you're paying attention to that. So if your thyroid is an issue, if your adrenals are an issue, those are big ones. So many people, especially women, will be like, oh, well, my exhaustion is just like it's a result of life, or I'm going through perimenopause. And everything starts to get brushed under the perimenopause rug, just like things would get brushed under the IBS rug. Listen, don't gaslight yourself and be like, oh, it's because I'm in my late 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and it's just hormones or lack thereof. Maybe, but there could be something else going on. And I'll tell you, as a clinician that is working with women's hormones every single day in clinical practice, is that it is normally DHEA that is an issue first, which is produced in your adrenals before we're seeing issues with estrogen and testosterone and progesterone. So if we aren't taking care of our adrenal health, which every single thing I've already talked about, that's how you take care of your adrenals. Okay, you can start to use supportive things like adaptogens as well too, which are a different group, and there's singular herbs that can really help to support that. But you've got to do all those foundational things that we talked about first. That's also how you're going to support your thyroid. Now, if you have an autoimmune condition, that your gut is impacted in this whole situation, and that is part of what has triggered your immune system to be overreactive and now to go after healthy tissue being targeted. One of the more common ones people will talk about, especially women, is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, where this isn't just an underactive thyroid. This is now a situation where the immune system has been triggered. There's issues definitely going on in the gut. There's stress, a whole slew of things happening, and that poor thyroid is the target tissue that the body and the immune system is going after. So again, if you aren't working with somebody on this proactively and also managing it, not just like, yeah, I did a session one time, but staying on top of this, because as time goes on, your body will change and the way you support your autoimmune condition will change. Okay. Now, the other thing here that we haven't hit on is really pulling back and asking yourself before you even dive into all 10 of these things I just talked about. I always ask clients, why do you think that you're feeling exhausted? Why do you feel like you have no energy and are constantly fatigued right now? And if I were to flip this around and I were to interview you and I were to ask you and I were to say, well, what do you think you should do? What would your honest answer be right now? Seriously, if I were to ask you, what do you feel like you need to do to help to get your energy back? What would your gut instinct first response be? Listen to that. Your body is very wise. Okay. Everything I've said here is all amazing, fantastic information, but don't negate the ability that you have to tune in on a daily basis, to listen to what your body is trying to communicate with you, and then make your next best decision today. Okay. As always, I'm wishing you more simplicity and more ease in all that you do. If you are seeking out help, reach out to myself and my team. You can connect with us right here. You can also visit our website, jennpike.com, or you can connect with us directly, hello@jennpike.com. Have a fantastic rest of your day.